like a comet, soar like a comet, crash like a comet. I'm just a comet.
What's up, chaotic crew? It's your favorite semi-aquatic mammal, Chaos Otter. And this is week 3 of the AABL. And this week we are battling the Boston Braviaries, coached by my good buddy, Shiny Typhoon, aka Brendan. A link in the description to his channel will be provided if you guys want to see his side of the battle. He told me he was recording as well, so let's see how that goes. I don't know if he was recording live, so it might be a bit longer than this, but I'm going to try and make this succinct as possible. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So, he leads off with Vaporeon. I lead off with Sandslash. Problem number 1. I should have just led with Araquanid, but because I wanted to get myself rocked up ASAP, I led with Sandslash. I should have known that he would lead Vaporeon in order to counter the fact that I have 2 ground types. What I should have done really was lead Shaman, but that's neither here nor there. Let's resume. So, we trade Scald, Protect, Poison Jab, nonsense. I get back to full, he Scalds again. I meant to be Water Absorb as opposed to Water Bubble, but I fucked up in my team prep building shenanigans because you shouldn't build teams at 3 a.m. I have Poison Jab for the Clefable, by the way. So he sends a Megatron, I go into Sandslash, and he Thunder Punches, thankfully. I use a Power for Earthquake, do 50%. I'm pretty sure that was a high roll. Ice Punch, unfortunately, does 49. REQ, it hits the Mandibuzz, of course. So, because he sends out Mandibuzz, I decide there's nothing Mandibuzz can really do to play myself, so I decided to switch out. I kind of wish I had the Rock Tomb on Sandslash, because I would have stayed in and Rock Tomb. No, what is it? It's not Rock Tomb. Yeah, whatever. I would have stayed in and hit it with a Rock type move, but I didn't need it because I have Fairy moves on a lot of my other Pokemon, so there was no point. But I ended up switching into play myself, figuring there's nothing this Mandibuzz can do to me besides switch out, which it does. Switches into Clefable, which is kind of a problem, but we get a powerful Fake off, and switch out into Shalobe again. Shalobe hits us with a Moonblast, we eat those! I fucking love Shalobe, she's so great. So he switches back into Vaporeon, and let me just pause for a second and talk to you guys. Vaporeon is the bane of my existence. The only 2 things that can adequately fight this Vaporeon are Shaman and Rabombe, and neither one of those really want to hit the field right now. Like, I'm trying to hold them back as long as possible, and let Araquanid fight, and if I was going to do that, I really should have done things a little differently, but that's neither here nor there. What I really should have done was been Water Absorb on Araquanid. That would have made a lot of things a lot easier, because the chances of us clicking a water type move were slim to none anyway. So it would have been really useful if we were Water Absorb rather than Liquidation, but I said Liquidation, Water Bubble, but I really wanted to take hits from Alolan Marowak a little bit better, so I decided to stick with Water Bubble. Hindsight, it probably would have just been best to leave Rabombe home and bring Araquanid without Water Bubble, because then fire type attacks would have just been neutral, and we could still eat those, because I was fully defensive, but that's okay. We're going to continue now. So we're trading our attacks again, and I make probably the dumbest decision ever right now. I switch out into 1-kill my Mamoswine and almost get O-code. So, we switch into Bayman, which is what I should have done in the first place, but I was trying to make the aggressive play. Last time he went into Aggron, I was hoping he would do so again, assuming I would go into Shaman. Unfortunately, bad things happen. We get Moonblasted again, that's fine, we still eat those. And I attempt to protect to scout out Clefable, doesn't really matter though. I send in 1 kill to die. I should have, honestly, and I'm going to pause right quick before we see what happens here. When Araquanid was on the field, I should have left it out because we were we were as minimum attack we could be without reducing nature. So foul play would have done fuck all to us, especially because we resist that. So I should have stayed in and just clicked a move like liquidation, which I had a water bubble to boost, but that's okay. So we switch out and we go into our Alolan Marowak. I mean, no, he goes into Alolan Marowak. We go into Rabombe, and this is when I show you guys the power that is Rabombe. Look at this Moonblast damage. Damage. No boost. We out here. And then I switch into a Thunder Punch. And at that point, we're kind of screwed. I get myself rocks up for what it's worth, even though I know that Defog Mandibuzz is still on the field. We switch in, take an Ice Beam. Pretty much was expecting that. Knew it wouldn't do too much. And we start firing off Sleeve Flares. They do fuck all. Sorry, I yawned a little bit. But that's okay. Dazzling Gleam does not do as much as I had hoped. And we fire off another one, but it doesn't matter because he finally switches into the Megatron we've been waiting for. And so we go into Play Myself. And he switches out into Dragonite. And then Clefable. That's okay, we get another Fake Off. Does nothing at all again. And we decide to make the power play into Sandslash. Poison Jab does 51%, exactly what we needed. And then we die to Moonblast. And at this point, there's nothing I can do to Clefable. I just kind of lose. We lose to Clefable at this point. I'm going to continue to tell you guys what happens, but I think you can tell that we pretty much lose Clefable. All we have left is 2 special attackers and a defensive Sableye. Well, especially and physically defensive. But even specially defensive Sableye Max isn't taking a +3 or +6 Moonblast from a Clefable. I don't care what you say or what you think. It's not taking it. So we start going for Air Slash flinches. We get a flinch. Finally, Shaman is helping us with something. And it doesn't matter. We got barely any Spadef drops. Barely any. And we take a flamethrower to the face. That's okay. We're gonna send in Play Myself. Powerful Fake Out again. Get the flinch. That's cool. We out here. And we take a Moonblast and die. So, last but not least, we have Me as Fuck. And Me as Fuck is trying so hard. It sends off a 22% damage Moonblast on a, like, +4 Spadef Clefable. Like, Me as Fuck is trying so hard. And then, Focus Sash. We try one more time to get one more powerful Moonblast off. Do 20% and die. So yeah. That's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. I am a sad otter. But that's alright, guys. We're going to bounce back from this. Last season we went 6-4 and we still made it to playoffs and took the championship. Right now we're 0-3. I think we can turn this season around. We have another battle coming up this week. I'm going to look forward to that one and not look backward at the ones that have passed behind us. We're going to get some powerful 6-0s in the coming weeks, guys. And we're going to be back in the business. I was going to say back in the running and back in business, and it turned into back in the business.